Comments on the show. I'm sure, Chris, you can write your letters to Chris Davis and we'll try to make the show better for you.
Northeastern, don't ask the zip, I don't know.
And it's time.
Survey says.
The price is wrong, Bobby. For trivia.
And live from the ECAT studios in Northeastern Massachusetts, this is Tuesday Triviality. It's January 30th, 2024, and I'm your host and trivia master of ceremonies, Tim Poupolo. And now it's time for trivia. So welcome everybody to the new year, 2024. This episode of Tuesday Triviality is brought to us by Northeastern Savings Bank. From personal to business banking and investing services, Northeastern Savings Bank is here to help you grow. Find more about their services and locations by going to northeasternsavingsbank.com. If you like this and other ECAT programs as well, ECAT can't do it without help from viewers like you. So if you would like to help ECAT out, you can go to eastoncat.org for the donate link, and now offering donations of $15 or more, you can get this fun little tiger with the ECAT handkerchief around his neck. So that's a little bonus for you. I'll have him with me for the duration of this evening. Okay. So thank you for joining us tonight. For those of you unfamiliar or familiar, this show features general knowledge, trivia questions, and answers. If you're watching this as a rerun or on demand at a later date, you can always play along for fun. But if you're watching this live tonight, January 30th, you can play along and win prizes. And how you're going to do that is when after I read the question, you'll have 1 minute to submit your answers. And the way you'll submit your answers is with this wonderful QR code right there. That'll bring you to a blank answer response form. That answer response form only has a few simple things to fill out: your name and your answer. And you'll keep reusing the same form question after question. There is a third field that's not required to submit it each time, and that's for an email address. We ask that on your first response of the night, you just add the email address so that if later on you are a round 1, 2, or 3 winner, we have an email address to match up with a name to reach out to you. So that handy dandy QR code, you can pull that up on your phone or as another tab on your browser, whether you're watching this live online or live on TV. We'll all be going through this same method. So we'll have your answers timestamped down to the millisecond because in this game, speed is valued. The way the prizes work is for each round, we will have a lucky winner. And that lucky winner is selected through a random drawing. And that random drawing comes from this bag. To get your name in this bag, you have to be one of the top 3 fastest correct answers for each question. So for each question in each round, the top 3 fastest correct answerers get 1 shot in that bag for each round's drawing. So it's not just good enough to have all the questions right, and it's not just good enough to have all the questions fast. You got to be both fast and right to maximize your chances. And even if you've maximized all your chances, it's still up to the odds of the draw. Okay, so if you have your answer sheet up, then we're going to give you a little pro tip right now to fill in your name ahead of time because you want to shave those precious seconds off your responses. So you can put in your name and email address now, leaving only the answer field blank, and that'll give you your best shot right now. So at the end of each round, a random name will be drawn from our winner pool. Tonight's prizes. For round 1, we'll be playing for a $50 gift card to Novell Salon and Day Spa. That's at 285 Washington Street in Northeastern Massachusetts. That's the Northeastern Village Shops. And this is for services, not products. So we'll be playing for $50 towards the Salon and Day Spa for round 1. For round 2, we'll be playing for a $50 gift card to Shoveltown Brewery at 50 Oliver Street here in Northeaston. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from the very studio I'm speaking to you from. You can grab a shovel at Shoveltown, the local brewery here in Easton. And for round 3, we have a $50 gift card to Medical Aesthetics, also located at 50 Oliver Street, a hop, skip, and a jump from this studio. They have locations not just in Easton, but Milton and Hingham as well. So Medical Associates, they can help you with things like hair, scar, and wrinkles. So not a bad thing to have in your pocket. So let's keep this match above the belt. Siri and Alexa and OK Google aren't members of your team. We're not here to see who's smartest, just who has the best collection of useless information swimming around in that old noggin. So only one answer per person per question, please. If you send in multiple answers, we will only credit and look at your first one, even if it's the wrong one. So be careful. All right. So if you have your answer sheets up and ready to go, I'm ready to go. So here we go. Let's put a minute on the clock for round 1, question 1. All right, question number 1 on the boards. How many U.S. presidents have been assassinated in office? How many U.S. presidents have been assassinated in office? And our countdown has just begun. There we go. So if you'll notice, the countdown is also appearing here on the screens, so you have a good idea of how much time you have left to think it over. And we're looking for how many, so that's just a number. You don't need to list any U.S. presidents, just throw out a number. Was it 1 through 45? Or, yeah, technically 45 presidents, because we have a non-consecutive one in the House. But, okay, looking for how many presidents were assassinated in office. So I think overall, 8 U.S. presidents died in office. So you know it's fewer than 8, but it's not 8. We have not had 8 assassinations. We had a good bout of illness around the 1800s, including that guy that died in a month. How many U.S. presidents were assassinated in office? All right, we're running down that clock. All right, the correct answer right here was 4. A lot of people may be familiar with Lincoln and Kennedy, on either end of the spectrum, but between them, Garfield and McKinley were both assassinated by gunshot as well. So all 4 of these U.S. presidents assassinated by gunshot, and those are the only 4 U.S. presidents assassinated in office. Question number 2. Here we go. Which Beatle sang the lead vocals for With a Little Help from My Friends? So With a Little Help from My Friends. Lend me your ears, and I'll spin you some trivia, and I'll try not to blurt out the answer. I get by with a little help from my friends. You got 4 options right here if you know your Beatles. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Which Beatle sang the lead vocals on With a Little Help from My Friends? Okay, we got some of these answers coming in here. And we're coming up on the halfway mark. At least this one, the other one you had to guess a number. This one, you can consider it almost multiple choice. Which of the Fab Four sang With a Little Help from My Friends? All right, we still have, there we go. Okay, we got those answers coming in. We're in our last 10 seconds right here to name one of the British invaders, so to speak. With a Little Help from My Friends. If you think about it, that song is sung in a great baritone, which was the key of Ringo Starr. Ringo Starr, that was Ringo's track of that album, With a Little Help from My Friends. All right, moving right along, get some geography in there, why don't we? We're looking for which of North America's Great Lakes is largest in both area and volume. So I'm not just asking which one holds the most water or which one's the largest on a map. It's one and the same. Which of North America's Great Lakes is the largest by both area and volume ways of measuring? So no trick question there when I say the largest. I guess you could also consider this one to be somewhat of a long form multiple choice, because there are 5 Great Lakes of North America. if you have trouble remembering them, I always remember them through a fun little mnemonic device. Homes. Homes. That is the first letter of each of the Great Lakes. So I'll let you think what those could stand for, and then once you have those 5 Great Lakes in your head, that's when you can start trying to figure out which one is the largest. All right, and the answers are filing in right here. Remember, Homes. Hopefully you'll remember that in the future. Easy way, I find. Okay, the largest Great Lake is Lake Superior, which, after you hear the name, it makes sense. Lake Superior. So HOMES is Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. So Lake Superior reigns supreme. Okay. The next question, coming up to almost the halfway mark of round 1. John Travolta starred in Grease as Danny Zuko, the charismatic leader of what gang? We're looking for the name of the gang that Danny Zuko, played by John Travolta, was the ringleader of in the musical Grease. So in the musical Grease, what is the name of their gang? And if you can sort of think of a snapshot in your head, it is written on the back of their leather jackets. Written on the back of their leather jackets in Grease. Okay. All right, and then, let's see, then there's not quite the rival gang, but their counterparts were the Pink Ladies, who also had jackets. But the Pink Ladies were, if you could imagine, that all-female gang that often fraternized with this gang. Okay, we're in our final roundup right here. What is the name of Danny Zuko's gang in the movie Grease? Okay, the correct answer right there is the T-Birds. The T-Birds. We can only assume that this is short for the Thunderbirds. So I'd accept both Thunderbirds and T-Birds, although it was only ever written and mentioned as the T-Birds. So the T-Birds, Danny Zuko. Okay, up next, number 5. Question number 5. In what city were the Summer Olympic Games hosted in 2000? In what city was the Summer Olympic Games hosted in 2000? So these were also known as the Millennium Games. It's when the world was optimistic. We are in the year 2000. It was a very big to-do. We're looking for what city. So it's not just good enough to name a country. You got to name the city in the country. So we're looking for specifically the city that hosted the Millennium Games, the Summer Olympics 2000, the Y2K Olympics. And I'd say it was a successful one because I believe this Olympics had no controversies, which nowadays feels a little rare. Where were the 2000 Summer Games held is what we're looking for. I know, try to take yourself back. Speaking of which, we're in another Summer Olympic Games year, Paris 24. Okay, but here we go. For the year 2000, that was hosted in Sydney, Australia. I think the Sydney Opera House was in a lot of the imagery of these Olympic Games. The Sydney 2000 Summer Olympics, the Millennium Games. All right, moving right along. Some consumerism for you. What brand of coffee uses the slogan that it's the best part of waking up? The best part of waking up is what brand of coffee? Might be a little presumptuous that it's the best part of waking up, but nevertheless, that is how they'd like to be remembered. So the best part of waking up, what is that brand of coffee in your cup? Okay. Okay, looks like a lot more people know this one than they knew the Sydney Olympic Games. The best part of waking up is what specific coffee brand? Of course, they say it's the best part of waking up. I'll keep my hands clean. All right, we're 15-second warning. So here we are at the last quarter, the fourth quarter. In the last 10 seconds of this fourth quarter, here we go. As the jingle goes, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Folgers coffee. Okay. And number 7. So we'll move right along for another minute on the clock right here. In the original children's fairy tale, Jack and the Beanstalk, after stealing the golden goose, what does Jack steal from the giant the final time when he gets caught? So we're looking how well you know your classic fairy tales. Jack and the Beanstalk. You know, famously, he sold the family cow for 3 magic beans, which doesn't sound like such a great deal, but in hindsight, he got the goose that laid the golden eggs. But he got greedy. What did he steal from the giant that caused the giant to sort of chase him back down the beanstalk when he gets caught, when he smells the blood of an Englishman? All right, try to think back. This is a good tried and true fairy tale. Maybe it's harder because it hasn't been made into a Disney adaptation yet. Well, that's how most people know their classic fairy tales these days. But the final time, what does Jack steal from the giant when he gets caught? Okay, a magic harp. A magic harp. Because the whole time when he's been stealing from the giant's been asleep because the magic harp kept him asleep. Once he stole the magic harp, the giant woke up and chased Jack down, but all's well. He cut down the beanstalk, the giant died, and then his family is rich. Can't get better of an ending than that. But the magic harp right there, or lute, I think would have also counted. All right, and the last question of round 1. So here we go, your last chance to get your name in the bag. Neil Armstrong was the first American on the moon. Who was the first American to orbit the Earth? Who was the first American to orbit the Earth? So if Neil Armstrong walked on the moon, that was 1969. This American orbited the Earth in 1962. We're looking for the name of this famous American astronaut. See how many of you know him. He is just as famous as Neil Armstrong, I think, still in the public memory. Okay, we got some answers coming in. The first American to orbit the Earth, to go all the way around. Less than 80 days, I assume. I think it was a 3-day mission. Okay. In our last 10 seconds, let's see, this man was a World War II fighter pilot turned astronaut, and then afterwards turned U.S. Senator for the state of Ohio. All right, the correct answer, ready for this, is none other than John Glenn. There we go. Oh. Ha! John Glenn was the first American to orbit the Earth. So John Glenn was that famous astronaut. And with that, we've reached the end of round 1. When we come back, we'll be doing our round 1 drawing for a $50 gift card to the Novell Salon and Day Spa, 285 Washington Street, for services, not products. But this is at the Northeastern Village Shops. We'll be back in just a minute with your round 1 winner and round 2 for Shoveltown Brewery.
I'm Gail Devins, and join me as we discover all the businesses that made Easton great. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. I cannot wait. I want to do it. I want to go there. I am definitely coming back, and I know you will too, because I'm telling you something. It is absolutely amazing in here. What a wonderful way to discover Easton. It's right here in Easton. Showing at noon on Mondays, 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, and 11 a.m. on Fridays, only on ECAT.
And we're back. All right. So it looks like everybody that has submitted their answers, you got your spot counted. So without any further ado, we'll do our round one drawing right here. So again, this is for Novell, Salon, and Spa, Day Spa. Okay. So right here, answerer number 4. So being the first person to submit Lake Superior, this goes to Carol K. Carol K, you are our round 1 winner right here. Let me mark you down for this round 1 prize. So your lucky response was Lake Superior. For everybody else, don't worry, it could be any of those answers. So don't fret if you could only get one right and be the third answerer of that one in round 2, and you still have as much of a chance as anybody. Okay, so if you're just joining us again, this QR code right down here is how you get to your answer sheet to send it in. And after you send it in, you just click submit another response and it spits it back out blank for you. And we keep reusing the same one, and it'll give me your name and answer with your exact timestamp so that we can sort you all correctly. But it looks like we're all geared up. If you have that back up, then we're going to start round 2, and we're going to be playing this one for a $50 gift card to Shoveltown Brewery, where you can go and grab a shovel. They have local brewed beers and hard seltzer, and this gift and pizza and appetizers, so you can get food, drink, or merchandise at Shoveltown Brewery with this $50 gift card. So let us gear up for round 2. Question 1. Let's put another minute on the clock. Here we go. Round 2, question 1. The FCC holds N11 codes for all telephones. 911 is for emergency. 411 is for information. What is DigSafe? So these N11 codes, FCC only gives them out for certain purposes. 911 is emergency. 411 is information. What is DigSafe? Before you dig up your yard, what blank or N11 code do you need to call? Okay, so these answers are coming in. Maybe you've read it on the side of a truck. It's good to make this number known far and wide so that you don't hit anything, a gas line, a water main, flood your street, cut your power. You don't want that to happen. You should call this number if you are going to dig safe. What is the number for DigSafe? Okay, and we have these ones coming in our last 5 seconds here. So let's see what our so we got 911 for emergency, 411 for info. We got 811 for DigSafe. 811. Other ones is 511 is traffic info. 611 is telephone repair. 311 is a line to your city or town. And 711 is assistance for the hearing impaired. So all these great 11 codes that you may not have known exist. All right, question number 2. Question number 2 right here. After Alaska, Texas, and California, which U.S. state is the 4th largest in square miles? 4th largest in square miles. And right off the bat, we're giving you the top 3. Alaska is the largest, Texas is the 2nd largest, and California is the 3rd largest. So that's U.S. states 1, 2, and 3 by land area size, which if I asked you to list, you might have gotten those. But which U.S. state is number 4? Number 4 in size. And let me think. I think Massachusetts is the 5th smallest. So what would that be? Number 45 in size? So Massachusetts 5th smallest. But what is the 4th largest right after California? Okay, running out of our time. How well do you know your U.S. states? I see that even people that might not have gotten it right still picked a pretty big state. All guesses are in top 10, which is good. Nobody's throwing Maine out there. The correct answer is Montana. Montana is the 4th largest U.S. state, and New Mexico is actually the 5th. New Mexico. And then in quick succession, you have your Colorados and your Utahs and your Nebraskas coming up. But Montana and then New Mexico. So there we go. The opposite of Massachusetts. For number 3, okay, some fun music and movies. What American singer-songwriter wrote and performed the song Footloose for the movie Footloose? We're looking for the singer-songwriter that brought us Footloose in the movie Footloose. And the clock is running to name that musical artist. You gotta cut loose, foot loose. Kick off those Sunday shoes. Please, Louise, pull me off of my knees. That's the song we're looking for. Okay, we had some people figuring it out so far. If you need any further hints, this musical artist, singer-songwriter, also produced another famous song for another famous movie, that is Danger Zone in the movie Top Gun. So same artist, Footloose in Footloose and Danger Zone in Top Gun. Okay, right there. So Danger Zone and Footloose are both works by Kenny Loggins. Kenny Loggins right there. Footloose and Danger Zone. Okay. All right, this one's for the more worldly in the audience. If you requested a serviette at a French restaurant, what would you have asked for? So if you asked the waiter, I would like one serviette, please, what would the waiter be bringing to your table? That is your question right there. So the clock is already running, 50 seconds remaining. What would you have ordered or asked for at a French restaurant if you told the waiter you would like a serviette? All right, and here we go. Some good guesses. I don't know if we have any French speakers in the audience. Maybe if you speak any other Romance languages, that might help, because see, there's some similarities. If you were at, let's say, a Spanish restaurant, you'd ask for a servilleta. So serviette in French, servilleta in Espanol. All right, 5 seconds left to say what you have just ordered or asked for. The correct answer is a napkin. If you ask for a napkin, that would be a serviette in French, or servilleta in Spanish, right there. And I'm not quite familiar with the Italian version, but I'm guessing with the same Latin roots, it's very similar. Okay, question number 5 right here. Question number 5. What is the name of the movie in which Robert De Niro repeatedly asked himself in the mirror, "You talking to me?" So, famous line right there. "Are you talking to me?" To himself in the mirror. He must be talking to him because he didn't see anybody else around him. What is the name of that movie starring Robert De Niro? Which that famous line comes from? All right, and the answers are coming in. Okay. And if you were asking yourself, yes, I am talking to you, not the mirror. I want to know who else was talking to himself, or what movie. So Robert De Niro right there. You talking to me? You talking to me? Classic tough guy pump up nowadays. But we got that originally from what movie? Ooh, we've just run out of time, so the correct answer is Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver, 1976. A Slow Descent into Madness. Right there. Taxi Driver, 1976. You talking to me. Okay. Let's get into the realm of sports for question number 6 right here. Question number 6. How long is the major penalty incurred for participating in an on-ice fight in the NHL? In the NHL, they separate penalties into major and minor penalties. Participating in a fight is classified as a major penalty. And like other major penalties, what is the... how long is this penalty? Right there. How long is the major penalty that you'll receive for participating in an on-ice fight in an NHL hockey game? Okay, and we have answers coming in. Answers coming in. How long is it? Okay, I think we still have room for one more name in the bag. We have answers coming in, but only 2 correct ones so far. Will you be number 3? That's what I want to know. And of course, you could always just throw a number out there. I wouldn't throw out anything over an hour because that would be the whole game. Okay. And that's our time. The correct answer is 5 minutes, aka 5 for fighting, as it's known in shorthand. You get 5 for fighting in the penalty box. 5 minutes as a major penalty for on-ice fighting, which you don't get the penalty until after the fight. They won't stop it until someone hits the ground, or the ice, should I say. So here we go. Number 7. Number 7 right here. Still included in many districts' school curriculums or curricula. Who was the person in U.S. history that invented the cotton gin? Who invented the cotton gin? A very simple invention, but due to that simple invention, this one inventor's name has been in textbooks across the U.S. for over 100 years. So who is the inventor of the cotton gin? All right, and fun fact, one of those trickier trivia questions, you might have heard it here before, is when I ask what is produced at a ginnery. Cotton is produced at a ginnery because of the cotton gin, the invention that sorts and prepares cotton for its refining and production. So the cotton gin. Oh, look at that. People knew this, so it is definitely part of school curriculum, and somehow it sticks in your brain. Okay, so the inventor of the cotton gin, some modern industrialization, Eli Whitney. Eli Whitney, the inventor of the cotton gin, right there. Eli Whitney. Ooh. All right, so this takes us to our last question of round 2. And one more chance to go for that prize. Your round 2 last question. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. What non-vegan ingredient is fermented to make Worcestershire sauce? Worcestershire sauce. So it is not vegan or vegetarian. Ooh. And for many people across the country or world, it is very difficult to pronounce. But being from Massachusetts, we don't have that big of a problem with Worcestershire sauce. So what ingredient is used to make Worcestershire sauce that makes it not vegan? You have we're already halfway through right there. So, of course, Worcestershire sauce is good on meats. So you likely won't be serving it to many friends that are vegan, should I say, because it's often paired with beef because of its tanginess that breaks things down. But what ingredient in Worcestershire sauce is not vegan? Okay. And the correct answer right there is anchovy. As well, I would have accepted fish as well. So fish or anchovy right there in Worcestershire sauce also appears in, I believe, most traditional Caesar dressing recipes. So it's not as weird as it sounds. Okay, so just like round one, we'll be taking a 1-minute break, and when we come back, we'll be drawing our round 2 winner. This round is for a $50 gift card to Shoveltown Brewery here in northeastern Massachusetts. Stick around, I'll be right back.
Welcome to Service Matters, a weekly radio show that talks about the good things that are happening in local communities and beyond.
Since 1978, the Eastern Food Pantry has been dedicated to providing food to our neighbors in times of need. As long as there's hungry people in our community, our doors are open, our hearts will be open to help.
We also like to talk about the good things that people do to make a difference, and in many cases, to make dreams real for folks out there in need.
Just to chat about, as you say, some of the good things in life. There's some of the good things, the great things, and the happy things.
And certainly watch us on ECAT, Eastern Community Access Television.
And we're back. All right, so your round 2 roundup is complete, which only leaves one thing, and that is the drawing for our prize. Again, Shoveltown Brewery $50 gift card is the prize here for round 2. So without any further ado, we have been reshuffled into this bag, rematriculated. It's time to dig down deep. Okay, this answerer right here. Okay, so for correct answerer number 18 right here goes to David Politan for being the third answerer, 5 for fighting right there, 5 minutes for hockey. All right, so David Politan right there, answerer number 18. Gonna mark you down for your gift card to Shoveltown Brewery. Okay. So let's wipe the slate clean and start from scratch. We are going here for Medical Aesthetics, 50 Oliver Street, northeastern Massachusetts. Gift card, right? Not just for the eastern location, but also Milton and Hingham as well. Medical Aesthetics for services such as hair, scar, wrinkle removal, mitigation, or other things, moles, who knows what. You can find out more on their website. But that's what we'll be playing for round 3. So just like rounds 1 and 2, if you've been playing with us thus far, you get the hang of submitting that answer form. If you're just joining us, one more time, you can join by scanning the QR code. Oh, same side every time. I got fooled. Scanning that QR code to get up your answer sheet. And with that answer sheet, you can submit your name and your answer and reuse it for each of the questions. Again, we have our 1 minute on the clock right up here, ready to go. So without any further ado, let's launch into the final round. Question number 1. All right, who was the 5th president of the United States and the last of the Virginia dynasty? So the Virginia dynasty is because a good amount of presidents, at least in the top 5 presidents right there, hailed from Virginia. So you may not know if I just asked you who was the last of the Virginia dynasty, but perhaps you'd be able to work out who was the 5th president of the United States. So right there, top 5, should be somewhere in that memory, although maybe not to the forefront as much as the top 3. So you'll have to sort of dig deep on that one. The 5th president of the United States. All right, and we still have time. 15 seconds to name the 5th president of the United States. So let's see. Last 5 seconds right here. All right, the correct answer is James Monroe. James Monroe. So it went Washington, Adams, Jefferson. Madison was 4, Monroe was 5. So James Monroe was the 5th president of the United States. All right, next question. Straight to the point. What do you need a Hackney license in order to do? What do you need a Hackney license in order to do? It may not be as self-evident because it's not hackneying. What do you need? Here we go. A Hackney license in order to do. Okay, wonderful. We're getting some answers in. Okay. Here you go. With a little thought, the correct answers started pouring in. So we got 30 seconds left. A Hackney license is needed to do what? Like I said, if you're joining us, welcome. And you can jump in at any time because each question is a chance for 3 people to get their chances increased for the end of the round. Okay, a Hackney license is needed in order to do what? Okay, it's something that Robert De Niro probably had, because the correct answer is to operate a taxi cab or drive a taxi or just taxi driver, 1976. All of those would have been acceptable answers right there. All right, let's make another nice, fun, and easy one, hopefully. So let's see if you can fastest thumbs here. Jenny's Number 8675309 was sung by what band in 1982? What band in 1982? I believe to most people they may be known as a one-hit wonder for this song. 8675309. Jenny. I think it's might be / Jenny or parentheses Jenny. But regardless, most people know that number, 8675309, through this song. And whether or not you know Jenny's number, do you know the name of the band that brought us this hit single? Okay, and so that's a 1982 single right there. And we're in our last 20-ish seconds right here. I know this may be tough because you don't have many other radio-friendly hits to go off of for this band. 10 seconds right there, but yeah, maybe you'll know it when I say it. Jenny, I have your number. I want to make you mine. Okay, we got a couple. Okay, the correct answer right here was Tommy Two-Tone. Tommy Two-Tone. Of course, when we play these games, spelling is optional. So don't fret too much when it comes to spelling of things. As long as I can figure out what you're trying to say, we'll try to get you that credit. But Tommy Two-Tone sang Jenny 8675309 in 1982. Okay, so here we go. Some world geography for our next question. Maybe this is more of your bag. The Netherlands sits between Germany and what other country? So the Netherlands only has 2 borders. I believe, trying to situate myself right now, their eastern border is with Germany, and their western border is with what other nation? The 2 nations that Netherlands touches. So, who does the Netherlands touch? Okay, we got some good thoughts in there. Okay, we got answers coming in, but so far only 1 correct answer. So there's still 2 more shots out there for you in the last 15 seconds. If you know where the Netherlands are, which is Europe, at least you got an educated guess. We've already eliminated Germany for you. You can also eliminate the island nation of the UK. So let us see. The correct answer right here is Belgium. Belgium is to the west, then you have the Netherlands, and then you have Germany to the east. And their third border is maritime. So they got the ocean to the north, and Germany and Belgium on either side, making up the meat of a Netherlands sandwich. Okay, coming up next right here, if you know your Disney, this might help. We're asking you, in Disney's animated Peter Pan, 1953, what was Peter looking for in Wendy's home before they first met? So, if you're familiar with the movie, Wendy and her two younger brothers encounter Peter Pan in their house, and he takes them to Never Never Land. But why was Peter Pan in their house in the first place? That's what we want to know. What was Peter looking for in their house is what we're asking you. So he was searching for something, and that's when he bumped into Wendy, who did help him retrieve what he was looking for. And then, as a joyride, he flew them over London to Neverland, where they faced mortal peril after mortal peril. Not a great reward, if you ask me. Okay, we got 10 seconds left. What was Peter Pan looking for in Wendy's house? I think they were the Darlings, Wendy Darling. So in the homestead of the Darlings, what was Peter looking for? What did he lose? He lost his shadow. He lost his shadow right there. So he was looking for his shadow right there. Okay. Ooh, this one you might be able to figure out. It's interesting, I think. Next question. The Australian coat of arms has two animals, one on either side, a kangaroo and what bird? A kangaroo and what bird right there are on the Australian coat of arms? Now these are both real animals. One of my other favorite fun trivia facts is the Scottish coat of arms has unicorns on either side of the crest. Mythological, yes. I think some of the British ones have lions, even though lions have never roamed in Great Britain. But a kangaroo on one side and what bird on the other is on the Australian coat of arms. Australian coat of arms. And if you can put one and one together, it is a bird native to Australia, just as the kangaroo is native to Australia. So what bird, right there, a uniquely Australian bird, should I say, is on the Australian coat of arms across from the kangaroo? Okay, some good guesses, all good guesses, but the correct guess is emu. An emu and a kangaroo are the two ones right there. You guys threw out a good amount. There's, I think, kiwis, but those are New Zealand. And kookaburra, that is a very Australian bird, but it is the emu on their coat of arms. In fact, they actually fought an emu war, and the emus won. So, strange war history for the Australians right there. All right, let's move from world culture to popular culture real quick. Shifting gears, Britney Spears' world-famous meltdown began by shaving her head completely and accosting paparazzi with what? With what object in February of 2007? So we're looking for what object did Britney Spears accost paparazzi with in February of 2007 with her shaved head, which was famously part of her well-publicized breakdown, which did not contribute well to her mental health, as we learned. What did she accost the paparazzi with, or at least one paparazzo, as I think the singular is technically. One paparazzo was accosted with what object by Britney Spears, famously in 2007, and I say famously because since this was the paparazzi, there were several photos of this taken, which were then plastered all over newspapers. So we have 30 seconds left to say what was Britney Spears clutching in her hands and attempting to bash away the cameras with. And again, this is, you could imagine the photo. This is her freshly shaved head, which is why they were photographing her. And then, as the downward spiral progressed, what did she use to beat away the paparazzi? All right, and that's the time right there. The correct answer was an umbrella. An umbrella, not an open umbrella. That probably would have worked better at shielding yourself, but a closed umbrella with a good hooked handle. An umbrella is what Britney Spears used in that famous 2007 Year of Britney. Okay, so now we're here on our final question. Okay, the salsa, cha-cha, rumba, and mambo, those dances all originate from what Latin American country? From what Latin American country did we get the salsa, cha-cha, rumba, and mambo? So you could only imagine, if you like dancing, this could be a vacation destination for you. If you like dancing. Because I would only assume that the inhabitants here are very good at the dances they created. So we are coming up on almost our halfway mark right here to name a Latin American country. So think of just anything south of the U.S. that is majority Spanish speaking. Those are all valid ones. But where did the salsa originate, the cha-cha, and the rumba and mambo? There we go. So everybody knows 1, 2, 3, cha-cha. 1 and 2 and 3, cha-cha-cha. Okay. Here we go. The correct answer is Cuba. Cuba is where all those dances originate. So you can go down to Havana, visit the Copacabana, and you can dance all these fun things right there. So Cuba is the originator of all those wonderful dances. So if you are into a nice warm climate and dancing the night away, Cuba might be the destination for you, depending on the year. Okay, so again, the answers are in, and we're going to tally you all up over the next minute. And when we come back, we'll do our final drawing for medical aesthetics here in Northeastern Massachusetts. We'll be back in 1 minute. See you there.
I'm Van Dam. I've been in radio for 3 decades now and have been doing a daily podcast-style show for a few years. But once a week, I come to the ECAT studio where they give me wine and cheese. Hey, welcome to the program. How are you? Good to be with you. Hey, you're looking good today. Thanks for being here. Make yourself comfortable. This won't take too long. It'll be a little bit painful for you, but in the long run, it's important for you to go through this. And I do a TV version of the podcast. I talk about what's going on in the world and in the area and give my opinions on things. That's both something to look forward to and also a warning. So tune in to see me move my mouth while I talk. Who knows? We might have something in common. Probably not, but you never know. Catch my show here, The Ron Van Dam Show, right here on ECAT.
It's The Ron Van Dam Show. Hold on tight. Things can get a bit weird if you like that sort of thing.
All right. 8 questions, 3 answers each, 24 names selected right here. So here we go for our final drawing of this evening. Join us next month. It's February 27th at 6 p.m. for the next episode of Tuesday Triviality. So I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. But here we go. Our round 3 winner right here. Answerer number 19. Oh, wow. For being the 3rd person right there in the wire to answer Cuba on the last question. Look at that. Goes to Barbara. Barbara, you are our round 3 winner right there. And the last one you sent in was the lucky one. Last one of the evening as well. So there we go. Let us mark you down. Okay. Put this right back there. So you never know which question will be the lucky one for any of you. But if you want to see if your luck continues, you can always join us next month, February 27th. The second to last day in the shortest month of the year at 6 p.m. here at ECAT. If you like this and other programs, don't forget that we can't do it without our sponsors. Tonight's episode was brought to us by Northeastern Savings Bank, 16 locations. They're here to help you grow through business banking and investing services. If you do appreciate this show and other things on ECAT, also consider donating with a sponsorship. If you would like to help ECAT out, you can go to eastoncat.org and look for the donation link down at the bottom. And like I said, a new offer, donations of $15 or more. You get this fun tiger right there. Mascot of Oliver Ames High School, Easton at large, and ecat.org right there. So you can get your own little ECAT. Until next time, I'm your host and trivia master, Tim. We hope to see you here on Tuesday Triviality, only on ECAT, only on Tuesday. Keep that curiosity alive. This is Triviality.